Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at all my favorite covers from 2020. I have my favorite books from 2020 coming. I'm not done reading yet, so I don't want to put out that video and miss something that I'm currently reading. So I will have my best of 2020, my DNFs of 2020, and all the fun 2020 wrap up in January, so stick around for that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, now is the perfect time so you don't miss all the new content coming in 2021, and I would greatly appreciate it. Now let's just jump into the books. I chose my 20 favorite covers of the year. These are books that have released this year. They are 2020 books. If you guys are interested in doing a backlist favorite covers kind of thing that I read in 2020 though, let me know and I will be glad to make that video, because there's a bunch of books that I left out specifically because they weren't 2020 releases. I wanted to focus this all on 2020 releases.
Can I say 2020 one more time in this video?
Alright, so I am going to start off with a graphic novel that came out this year, and the cover just took me, took my heart, took my soul, took all of me, and that is Harleen. Sorry if there's any light glare. I'm trying to not get the glare from the light. I mean, you guys look at this, and not only this, not only is the cover badassery, but the naked cover is just as beautiful. I mean, I just cannot get enough of this. So this is number one on my favorite covers of 2020. I say number one, but this is in no particular order. I'm just taking this one out of the way because it's the biggest book, so I have it sitting on top of all the stacks. Next up is Hunger Pangs. Hunger Pangs. Next up is Hunger Pangs by Scott J. Moses. This is a short story collection. The author did send this to me, but I feel like I always have to have a Danielle Sarah cover in my collection and my favorites, because he is probably my favorite artist at the moment. I love all of his covers. You guys know The Rust Maidens is my favorite cover ever, and it is by him. So I did want to add one of his covers on here because I just think he is phenomenal. His art style is so unique, and you just know when you're looking at a Danielle Serra cover because it's just, it stands out. So that's why I wanted to include this one. I haven't read this one yet. I do have this one set for January, but like I said, this is a short story collection, so not much to say about the contents. Next up, I have to have a Stephen King in here because, you know, and that is If It Bleeds. Obviously this did come out this year. Now I wanted to include this book because I know you guys see it and it's nothing spectacular. I mean, a cat, If It Bleeds, it's like a bronze gold kind of color, and I mean, it's beautiful. When I saw it online, when I went to order it, I thought it was gorgeous, but when you actually have it physically and you look at this cover, there are details in it and it just looks so different from a camera or the computer. It's just beautiful. The textures in it, the details, as I have said already. Anyways, I had to include this one because in your hands it is just something so beautiful that you don't expect, because it just looks like a plain cover honestly when you look at it online, but it's so beautiful. Next up, I wanted to include Worst Laid Plans. It's an anthology of vacation horror, and I read this while I was on vacation in Tennessee and I just loved it, and I wanted to include this one because number one, I do love the cover, but I want to get this tattooed on me because you have the palm trees on the mind. I'm a summer girl and I love palm trees. Palm trees? What are trees? Palm trees, and you know, being from Miami, it's full of palm trees, and the skull and the glasses and that upside. I mean, I just love this cover so much, and I just feel like it is so me. It's like colorful, the palm trees, the skull, the glasses. It's just beautiful. This is about covers. But if you guys haven't read this, please do yourself a favor, and for this summer, get yourself this book and read it because it has some phenomenal stories in it. Next, I want to talk about a book that we got in our Nightworms package. This book is published by Silver Shamrock Publishing, and I do have both covers, and they're both beautiful. I want to focus though on the Nightworms exclusive cover, Wormwood, and this is by Chad Lutzke and Tim Mayer. I mean, look at that. But the Silver Shamrock publishing one is just as badass. I'm gonna put both of them. Sorry if it glares, but beautiful, beautiful covers. I love them both, and I'm dying to read this. I have it set for my January TBR. I cannot wait to read this book, but I just thought that the covers are beautiful, beautiful. They did such a great job.
I have like all these books stacked here and I don't know which one to pick next.
Another one is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I read this in November and I loved it. It was so good. I gave it 5 stars, but that cover, it's a simple cover, but first of all, just the black alone, like this matte black, it just like really sticks out to me. And then against the black and this blue and purple here, I just love the colors of it. It's so beautiful. I keep looking at my whatever this is called because I want to make sure that it's focusing on the cover. So please, I apologize about looking at the viewfinder. That's what it is, a viewfinder. So yeah, I just had to include this one because it just looks so classy and elegant and just, again, beautiful. Next up, The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I just love how whimsical this is, how all the details in it is just stunning. The colors, I just find this so beautiful. I haven't read this one yet. I'm really looking forward to this book in 2021. I love this cover so much. I love this cover so much. Next is one of my most anticipated reads or books of the year, and I still haven't read it. My Dark Vanessa. I love this cover. There is just something so beautiful, so sad, so dark, so tragic in this cover. It's just so many things in one, and I love it. Again, this was the most anticipated read, but I have not read it yet. I'm really hoping to get to this one in January. Fingers crossed, but I already have so many books on my TBR that I don't know if I'll be able to, but I just could not let this one slip past this video because I just find it so stunning. Next up, this is actually book 2 in the, what is this trilogy called? It's the Locked Tomb trilogy by Tamsin Muir, and it is Harold the Ninth. I love both the covers, Gideon the Ninth and then Harold the Ninth, but Gideon the Ninth obviously was published last year, I believe, 2018 or 2019. I'm really not sure, but this was released this year, and there's something so beautiful about these covers. The details, the color, they're like muted and they're just dark, and I just love it. So stunning. So stunning. Next, this is a very simple cover, but I had to include it because the fact that it's so simple just makes me love it even more, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is the Book of the Month edition, but it's still the same cover, and I love the constellation that it has here within the letters, and it's black and gold, very classy, very New Year's Eve-esque, but just the simplicity is just stunning. You will be seeing a lot of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in my channel within the next few videos because, yeah. Next, we have another most anticipated release, The Deep by Amakatsu, that I yet have to read. I don't know why I keep doing this, but there it is. water, a boat, this like underwater thing, the colors, the blue, the details in this is just amazing. This was definitely a most anticipated read or release because of the cover. I keep saying that each book is stunning, but they are. Like, there's a reason why they are in this video. They're my most favorite covers of the year, so they are just stunning. Next we have A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. The colors, the green, the girl, her complexion, the gold, the letters on the title, everything in this cover is utter perfection. Utter perfection. It's like muted colors, but not at the same time, but vibrant at the same time. I don't know how they did that, and it's just stunning.
Okay, I'm gonna stop saying stunning, I promise.
The next one is David Sodergren's Dead Girl Blues. This cover just screams, read me please. It's so retro. I love the scene and the yellow and the reds in there. I just think it just really stands out in my collection, and I love it. Next we have a book that I have read already, and the book itself is not so great. It has very low reviews. At least everybody that I know that I've talked to doesn't like the book, but the cover itself is just stunning, and that is The October Boys. The October Boys by Adam Millard. Like I said, I already read this. I ended up giving this book 2 stars. It wasn't that great, but the cover invites you to read it. So don't be fooled. I'm just kidding. Read this if you want. I had to add it because it's like retro also. This takes place in 2 timelines, in 1988 and in 2016. And I feel like the cover does a great job of encompassing those 2 timelines, and especially the retro look of it. I think it's just perfect. All right. Rory Powers covers are always beautiful. I mean, Wilder Girls is phenomenal. I think that's one of my favorite covers of all time, but this one is not that far behind. You have the girl in the middle of this like maybe corn stalk. It looks like corn stalks, or like just a field of some sort of plants with the burnt out areas, the oranges. I find it beautiful. I still haven't read this yet, so I don't see how the cover goes along with the story, but I'm sure it matches perfectly. But I just love the oranges in this cover. Of course, I have to include Horrid by Katrina Leno. I mean, this cover is just everything. I love the flowers. I tend to gravitate a lot towards covers that have houses or windows on the cover, and also flowers and a girl, whatever kind of girl and flowers. I don't know what it is, but this one being black and just like her complexion with the blush and the lips, it just matches so perfectly. I had to include this. This was another of my most anticipated releases for 2020, and I still haven't read it. Are we noticing a trend here, or is it just me? All right, the next it's a set of books, and I wanted to include them because all of these I love. The artist for this is just incredible, and there are still more books to be released in this series, but it is the Splatter Western collection. All of these covers are amazing, and I wanted to include all of these, but this, just think of it as just one big book. Because, you know, I don't want to sit here and be like, well, all 6 of these. No, this is just one big collection, and it's mostly the artist that I love, that I actually fell in love with. He's right there with Daniel Serra. These are just amazing, and the artist is Justin T. Coons, and he does such a fabulous job. So let me show you each and every one of them. Magpie Coffin. Look at that. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Yes, Dust, stunning. I love how the colors in these are a little bit more vibrant with the green and stuff, but still stellar. Oh, this one I love so much as well. Then we have Starving Zoe, I believe. Yes, I mean that, the cover, beautiful. And then A Savage Breed. I think all of those are spectacular. I couldn't just pick one, so we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna group these, and this is one cover. but it's not. But it is. All those books, I could just stare at them all day. They're beautiful. We're down to the last 3, you guys. I'm gonna leave my favorite for last because I just like doing that. But next up, I'm going to insert Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I mean, this screams witchy and dark and amazing, and oh, this cover is amazing, amazing, amazing. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I honestly, from the top of my head, I can't remember what the original cover looks like, and I'm thinking maybe it's a little darker. I'm not sure. I don't even know if the cover is different or if it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive because of the contents. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up, but oh, this one, I loved it. This was a 5-star read for me, so spoiler alert. Up next, How the King of Elham Learned to Hate Stories. I want to include all of the Folk of the Air trilogy in this, but those books came out prior. This is the latest. This is like a spin-off, and it's just short stories on Prince Carden, or yeah, on him and his life and stuff. But I had to include this because it's amazing. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive because I do have the whole trilogy in the Barnes & Noble exclusive, so I had to get this one to match. The original covers are white, but I really like how beautiful the dark is with all the muted tones in the cover. Is it focusing? So yeah, that's what it looks like. Coming in at my favorite of the year, this was my favorite book up until probably the month of November, where it got pushed down just one notch. But the cover is just my favorite of the year, my #1 of the year, and that is Fable by Adrienne Young. I love this cover so much, and I mean, it's a beautiful cover. Even if you haven't read the book, I know my friend Tali included this in her favorite covers on her Instagram account. I will link that picture down below because she has a few that I talked about today. She included this one and she hasn't even read the book. So you don't have to read the book to really fall in love with the cover. It is a stunning cover, but I think that my love for this cover is also my love for Fable. I have such a connection with her character. I love her character so much, and her tenacity and her will to live and continue on regardless of what was going on around her or who was trying to kill her was just so incredible that I have like a connection with her per se. So I love this cover not only because it's beautiful, but because it holds one of my favorite characters of 2020. And it's just the freckles on her, her hair, her eyes. I just cannot get enough of this cover. And then in the back you see the rest of her hair. There is a second book, Namesake, coming out in 2021. I have not read it yet. I was able to get an ARC of this through NetGalley, and I ended up purchasing the book because I loved it so much. But Namesake is coming out in 2021, and we see the other half of her face. So I'm sure that when you put them together, they're going to make just one complete face of Fable, and I cannot wait to get that cover. And you best believe that you will see Namesake in my 2021 favorite covers. So spoiler alert for a year from now. Yeah, I just can't get over this. I keep looking at her. I keep her right next to Wilder Girls because I say, you know, like I said already, Wilder Girls is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. So I keep this and Wilder Girls together, and they just look beautiful. So #1 and my favorite cover of the year. So that's it, you guys. That's everything I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at all the covers that I love for 2020. Let me know in the comment section down below what was your favorite cover of 2020, or at least your top 5 covers of 2020. Let's chat books. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!